So what's impressive about this practice that's coming up in India in 2025 is that it's based on the ancient Vedas, and these are practices that involve Sri Sukta, which is in the oldest of the Vedas. And it's about, at least in part, it's about nurturing the natural world too. As it nurtures ourselves, as it helps us to be more prosperous, internally and outwardly, and helps us to be more protected. It also helps to nurture the natural world, which I think is really amazing, especially since Panaji is especially excited about this, the fact that Maha Sri Yaga has been attempted many times and hasn't worked. It's failed. I'm not saying he's tried it, but other teachers, other organizations, I'm sure, have tried to do this and without success. But he's been working over the years to assemble the means, the resources, the people, the understanding, the mantras behind it. So we're actually kind of doing what a lot of people are attempting to do in nurturing the natural world, but we're doing it mantrically and through the help of the ancient Vedas. So that sounds like a really unique approach, as much as I can appreciate everybody else's approach in their different activities and angles on climate change and what's happening on the planet and what's happening with mankind struggling and seeming to reaching some kind of a boiling point, is that we're really going to support everything mantrically, So that seems like a different angle. And it's got me really appreciating and excited about it too, about the possibilities. So many of us that have been doing some practices for years have maybe reached a point where we can really be really a help to this this approach and this practice. So I think gathering us together and doing it in India, sacred place, at this time, it sounds like a really powerful idea. So I'm happy to do my little part, and I think it's kind of a great adventure on another angle, as it is whenever a lot of Westerners gather trying to go back into India and to bring the practices with them, and the very seat of the practices were the country they came out of, and then to try to be a part of that and bring our modern world into this ancient world. So that's what I'm excited about. I think all of us who are scheduled to be involved in this practice, the Maha Sri Yaga, have definitely an experience, a personal experience of how it's helped them over the years. Generally speaking, we can say that practices like Sri Sukta, especially at a level 2, or even just taking it, in a more personal, less communal way, is that it helps us to feel a little bit lighter and brighter and more connected. So we feel more connected to something bigger, and yet, even though it's bigger, it's internal too. And so bringing the experience we have into a group practice in a sacred setting like Khajuraho sounds really special. And the fact that Panaji has been talking about how this practice has been attempted many times before by other groups and hasn't been successful in gathering the numbers of people and to maybe the knowledge and the background. So to bring this together with the Shakti of Panaji and the sages and the background that many of us have, and doing our own little practice to try to enhance it into a big practice over 6 months with many people from different walks of life, different countries even, coming together to try to do this in a very special way. It sounds like it's really got the potential to do something. And the way I see it, there's so many groups in the world that are trying to address the environment, climate change, all the damage and destruction that human beings have done to the natural world. And at the same time, we've kind of messed ourselves up too with a lot of anxieties and stresses and just endless running and chasing after things that aren't really, of great value. They have some little value and superficial value, but the scope of this practice and doing it together is really special. I could get that feeling. So as we gather in India and do this over a 6-month period with the grace and the backing of Panaji and sages, knowing that we can just do the best we can, and if we show up with the right attitude and the right effort, that this looks like it's going to be really powerful. And it supports the planet in a different way. It supports it mantrically. So as many other groups have done their outward niche, outward action, and things to help mankind and help the environment, this was one that might be a little bit missing overall. Even though prayers are good, powerful intentions are very good and important, but from the wisdom of the ancient Vedas, Sri Sukta and practices like that, coming together with a fire ceremony, sacred fire ceremonies going on for 6 months, sounds like this really has the potential to be something that makes it all the more successful. And again, the fact that Panaji is really enthusiastic and excited about it just means that we're just about there. We have to show up and do it. And the upcoming year is just continued preparation from all of us, and continued practice, and getting ready to bring our best selves into that practice. So that's what I think we're gathering from so many different points all over the globe, getting ready and preparing, and when the time comes, we'll show up and be there for our niche, our time to do what we can and do it with a group effort. So that's a very powerful thing. Glad to be a part of it. Panaji is the outward face of a tradition that goes back more than 5,000 years. And he is just representing what we're starting to feel internally. So the fact that other people are involved and have made the commitment to come and be a part of this, even without necessarily knowing who Panaji is, means to me that they have some inner experience that tells them that there's really something special with these practices, and there's something happening internally to themselves, and they can see how it's starting to transform them, and it's noticeable to even the people around them as it is noticing to the practitioners themselves. This is something powerful, and it feels right in a deeper way. So even though Panaji is the outward face of this, he'll frequently talk about the other sages of the traditions, like those mentioned in the book, the Himalayan masters, about the traditions and masters of the past. So it's really a powerful force that we experience internally. It's a support and the grace of those that have gone before us and have done these practices and have done them successfully. And in that, they're creating a powerful force that's energetic, it's mantric, it has obvious outward expressions that are really convincing and, help everyone to have faith in it because they've experienced it internally and starting to see it manifest in the outward world. So Panaji is not in a sense, he's the outward essential part as he's guiding the ceremonies and the pujas, but there's others, and there's the ones that have gone before us that are, in a way, in a big way, they're very much present too, as part of it. So it's not necessary to have a close personal connection, relationship with Panaji. I think even the people that you've met or talked to or interacted with are showing you something that is increasing your trust and experience of this. Because you see by talking to them and seeing through their eyes what can happen and what's powerful about this and what's good and how this can become part of your life and affect those immediately around you and affect the world in a bigger place, in a bigger way, because we're united together. So it's not essential as you come into this, maybe new and fresh, that you have a strong personal relationship with the face of the organization, knowing that there's so much more behind it, including the sangha, the company of the other people with you doing the practice. So that only increases as you continue with the practices and interact with the people and the tradition itself.